President Obama making a stunning admission about his executive action on immigration after being heckled during a speech in Chicago.
Now, you're absolutely right that there have been significant numbers of deportations. That's true. But what you're not paying attention to is the fact that I just took an action to change the law. Now,
Well, the administration also confirming that illegal immigrants impacted by the president's unilateral changes to the law could be eligible for Social Security and Medicare benefits. Joining me now to talk all about this, Manhattan Institute senior fellow and City Journal contributing editor Heather McDonald. Heather, as always, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
You call this a constitutional crisis, don't you?
It certainly is. This is a watershed moment for our country, Ashley, both economically, constitutionally, and demographically.
What will be the impact of this in your mind?
On the rule of law, enormous. If this sets a precedent for the president being able to pass his own laws when the people are against it, we are on the path to a true tyranny. I don't usually believe in hyperbole, but it can't be overstated how radical and how illegal Obama's actions are. That's one thing. And without the rule of law, we're nothing. But economically, I think it's also going to be an enormous blow in the gut to the American people because...
And why?
Because you're going to have a very low-skilled population that are already using vast amounts of taxpayer resources in terms of schools, trying to educate their children, prison time. Now they're going to qualify for a much larger basket of welfare benefits.
Which, I'm sorry, I thought when this first came out they weren't going to be eligible for benefits, but now apparently they are.
Of course, they'll be eligible for themselves for welfare. Now their kids are getting it if they're born in the country. They'll be eligible for probably Obamacare, Social Security, Medicare, and the fact is that there's no way that the low-skilled population will pay enough in taxes to account for the welfare benefits that they're going to be consuming.
So what's the way forward for the Republicans to try and undo this?
Well, constitutional crises are really about a showdown of who blinks first. And what they have to do is pass a law that says we are not funding your amnesty. We are not going to allocate money for the green card provisions, for the background checks, as superficial as they will be. I mean, do not believe that criminal records are disqualifying. They're not. There's never been an amnesty that disqualifies anybody for a criminal record because so few people would qualify. Right. Here you're going to get misdemeanor records. That's fine. Come on in and get your green card. But Congress has to send a message, we are not funding this. If Obama then vetoes it, things get complicated and we'll have to wait for the next session.
Well, so that's a difficult thing to do, though, isn't it, to get into the non-funding part of it? And as you say, the president right now, President Obama, is going to say, sorry. So is it really that feasible, an action that will actually stop this?
He can probably go ahead. I don't know, but we have to pursue this and see where it takes us.
And why would these illegal immigrants come out of the shadows to pay taxes? The temptation, of course, is that they can stay here legally, but do you think many more will just stay in the shadows anyway? Well,
that's an excellent question, because the shadows are not very shadowy, it turns out. People in many states, they have driver's licenses. The idea that they're lurking in fear is preposterous, because there is zero chance of deportation once you're inside the country now. All the deportations, so-called deportations, are happening on the border. And another issue that this is so worrisome about, Ashley, this is the biggest magnet we've ever had for illegal immigration.
Well, that was my next question. What's this going to do now for those that are thinking about coming here illegally?
It says, come here, have an anchor baby, have a child who is granted birthright citizenship, and you will be eventually granted legal status yourself. There's never been anything like this for incentivizing illegal immigration. And now that we have effectively delegitimated deportation as a solution to illegal immigration, and Obama is getting rid of the Secure Communities program, there's simply no disincentive.
How do we know this number, 5 million? How do we know it's 5 million?
I guess it's an estimate, just as the estimate of how many illegals are here. There could be a lot more, that's right. And it will be a lot more in the future.
So ultimately, as always in these situations, middle-class taxpayers of this country are probably going to end up footing the bill for this, right?
The taxpayers will foot the bill, and low-skilled Americans are the ones who will be hurt the most with the wage competition.
But the White House says actually wages will go up.
No, they will they go up for the immigrants. It's a good deal for immigrants, there's no question.
But for native workers?
For native workers at the bottom, they will be facing even more competition. The law of supply and demand is not lifted for illegal immigration. The more supply of workers, the lower the wages. And people on the top end don't have to worry so much, but people at the bottom who we should be caring about most do have to worry.
All right, we're out of time. I know you're going to be back many times to talk about this issue. It's not going away. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashley.
Heather McDonald. Time now for a few of your comments. Dave tweeted us, the White House truly is a gated community, he says. Benghazi Gate, NSA Gate, Fast and Furious Gate, and now Gruber Gate. Jerry posted on our Facebook page, John Kerry needs to walk away from the Iran talks, but he will not. He wants an agreement at any cost. And that cost could be Israel and even the U.S. Jeff in Illinois emailing us, why would the Republicans impeach President Obama? He is a one-man human wrecking ball who destroys the Democratic Party brand on a daily basis. We love hearing from you. Email Lou at loudobbs.com. Follow us on Twitter at loudobbsnews, or you can go to our Facebook page. Links to everything can be found at loudobbs.com. That's it for us tonight. Stay tuned for Cavuto coming up next. And thanks for joining us. Have a great Thanksgiving and good night from New York.